What would you do if someone tried to discourage you from going here? To here. Whether you like Merab Dvalishvili or not, the president of the UFC never wanted him to be a champion. While Dana White was handing title shots to marketable names, lesser-known fighters like Merab were given tough fights, hoping they would lose. But the Georgian kept improving faster than everyone in the division, leaving Dana White with no choice but to grant him a title shot. We may not all fight in a cage, but life can be a highly competitive place, and others may doubt our potential. That's why we can learn 5 powerful lessons from Merab Dvalishvili that can help us continuously improve to prove them wrong, plus a bonus at the end. The first lesson is that Merab Dvalishvili never took any shortcuts when he was just a contender in the division. Some fighters preferred taking the less risky path with Dana White's help, but Merab knew that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's why he never complained about facing the monsters of the division. He nearly got knocked out against Marlon Moraes, then faced Jose Aldo, Petr Yan, and ultimately defeated 3 former champions before fighting Sean O'Malley.
When I look back now, I don't regret nothing because I know that I earned it,
Yeah.
And I don't get pushed or gifted or something.
No privilege.
Over time, he was silently getting better by gaining experience from defeating the top fighters of the division. He knew that taking the most dangerous path would be the fastest way to improve. It's true that it took years before he became a champion, but he was improving at his game faster than anybody else in the division. Taking the long path may seem boring, but it becomes thrilling when you realize you're improving at an unstoppable pace, simply by not avoiding the biggest challenges. Most people ignore this and want straight up the results, fame, and status. But deep down, we know that people who take shortcuts are missing the true pleasure of experiencing the less traveled path. Merab does something outside of the octagon that, believe it or not, greatly enhances his performance.
Nice.
He loves to embrace his primal side. He goes into nature to run with his friends, work out, or do some crazy stuff. One of the reasons he loves this activity is that he was raised in the mountainous region of the Caucasus in Georgia. He is accustomed to it, but there is one significant advantage to training in nature that greatly enhances Merab's fighting skills. You see, our ancestors always used to train and fight outside, in nature. Now, we're essentially doing everything under one roof, whether it's a gym, a swimming pool, or the octagon where fighters like Merab compete. But going into nature once in a while will help produce more adrenaline than normal, which also will make you more alive and alert. That's one of the reasons Merab is improving nonstop, because he has that additional energy from nature that other fighters don't. Now, that doesn't mean that we should go into the forest to do extremely dangerous things like Merab does. Please no. It means that we can, once in a while, go into nature to run or to meditate without listening to music, since the essence of nature is to simply be present. You'll be surprised by how much this motivates you to improve when you return to a normal lifestyle. The third lesson that Merab uses to constantly keep improving is that he knows how to say no to distractions. I know that you're not hearing this topic for the first time, but bear with me. When Merab had his first fight against Sean O'Malley, he was making fun of O'Malley's smoking and partying habits. And it was a valid thing to make fun of, because that's one of the reasons Sean lost that match. However, in the second fight, Merab praised Sean for quitting alcohol, playing video games, and smoking to focus on reclaiming his belt. Even though Merab still dominated him one more time, Sean looked healthier and more alive during the fight. The reason it did not work for the former champion was that Merab had avoided distractions to focus on fighting for over a decade. Doing that for less than a year won't be enough to catch up to Merab. But how does the Georgian keep saying no to the distractions that easily win the crowd's attention? As I said previously, life is a highly competitive place, but the distractions are killing that competitive instinct. The way Merab has beaten urges from temporary pleasure is that he has been focusing on having a purpose that pressures him.
And when you have a fight scheduled, you're more disciplined, you're smart, you're not hanging out, But if I don't have a fight, there is always opportunity to fly some other states or some other countries and always something going. But when I have a fight, it's easy to say no to those opportunities. And
if we want to be focused so that nothing can steal our attention, we need to have some kind of purpose that feels scary about not making it in time to achieve it. For Merab, the goal is to improve for an upcoming fight, as thoughts of losing would create additional pressure. So, come up with a goal that is important to you, even if thinking about it scares you, and share it in the comments below before we move on to the bonus lesson. Moving on to the next lesson, and one of the most impressive traits of Merab is that he can turn injuries into strength. No matter how careful UFC fighters are during training camps, they always sustain some micro-injuries during their fights. But when Merab fought one of the toughest opponents of his life, Umar Nurmagomedov, he had more than some micro-injuries. He had an infected wound on his leg and also a damaged back, which made him unable to move exactly 1 week before their fight. All of these are serious enough injuries to pull out of a fight, but this is the way he confronts such setbacks.
Doesn't bother you. Now, Merab, this is something that a very famous UFC fighter in Conor McGregor has pulled out of a fight with a similar injury to his pinky toe. What do you think about that? And
I mean, I don't want to comment about Conor McGregor's toe because I don't know exactly the pain and the situation, but my toe, I still have 9 other toes, and it was fine.
That's right. He knows that he cannot make these injuries go away instantly, so the only path he has left to improve is to stay positive. Studies have shown that those who show more positivity about their injuries heal exceptionally faster. So, no matter what we do in life, there will be times when we will be unable to do our work at best due to our physical or external constraints, and there's nothing we can do against that. The only thing we can do is not let it hinder our growth, which can only be done with positivity, like Merab Dvalishvili. However, nobody can stay positive if we don't enjoy what we do. One of the reasons Merab seems always happy is that he has found something that he loves doing. You can see his joy during walkouts, during fighting, and even after the fight, he keeps talking about how happy he is. That's why Merab is constantly improving. He loves fighting, and working out is essential for improving in what he enjoys. During Merab's fight against Umar, he demonstrated his ability to exhaust any opponent in the octagon. In his second fight with Sean O'Malley, he showcased his improved submission skills. If Merab hated fighting, he would have quit after his first 2 controversial losses in the UFC. Additionally, that's one of the reasons people love and admire him. I know that many of us struggle to find work we enjoy, as society often pushes us to do what is considered right. Since childhood, we've been taught that prioritizing a stable job is important, but often that isn't what brings us joy. So, finding our favorite work requires taking calculated risks, but it's definitely worth facing the challenge, because it's the only way to have constant motivation for improvement. Finally, it's time for the bonus lesson, and we haven't talked about Merab Dvalishvili's insane cardio. If you've made it this far, well done. Your attention deserves some praise. To tell you briefly, there are 2 secrets behind Merab's unbelievable cardio. No one in the octagon can attempt multiple takedowns in just 10 seconds during the final round, except for Merab. The first secret is his genetics, which can be attributed to his Georgian heritage. But the second secret is knowing what your natural strengths are. Merab knows that everyone possesses some form of innate talent that can be used as a powerful weapon. This awareness is the reason he is improving at such a rapid pace. While it's beneficial to focus on weaknesses, like Merab does with his striking, it's even more important to concentrate on your natural strengths, which in Merab's case is his cardio. When you can identify your genetic advantages, you can enhance them much more quickly than anyone else. And it can be anything, such as fast reaction speed, strong communication skills, or the ability to learn languages quickly. Everyone has at least one natural strength, and by focusing on leveraging it in your field, you can significantly accelerate your improvement in whatever you pursue. If you found something useful in these lessons, drop a like and subscribe. See you next time.